Part 1 had some surprises.
26.
And now I present to you the most controversial pick of this list, Yankee Stadium, and I'm not sorry about it. But Part 2, that shocked a lot of people.
Number 11.
And let the controversy begin, because just missing out on the top 10 is Fenway Park. But now it's time for Part 3 and the top 10. Which ballpark will take the crown? Get your popcorn ready. Quick reminder of our categories here, worth a maximum of 10 points each. Location and surrounding area, aesthetics, exhibits, atmosphere, staff and friendliness, food and drink options, and overall experience. I don't know about you, but I am excited. So without any further ado, let's go!
Number 10.
So a common theme of this is going to be, I hate that I had to put them this low, because I loved all of these in the top 10 so much that I wish I could put them all at number 1. Unfortunately, that's not how it works. Nonetheless, this is Chase Field at number 10. Now, I first went to Phoenix in 2014, 10 years ago, and I said, this is the most underrated city in America. Now, at that point, I had never been to a lot of major cities. I was probably being a bit dramatic. I didn't know what I was talking about. Well, now I've been to quite literally every major city in the US, and I can honestly say, Phoenix is the most underrated city in America. It is such a great time. There's so much to do. And yes, it's hot, but I grew up in the depths of heat and humidity in Louisiana, so that actually doesn't bother me that much. Now, there's good news and bad news with that. The good news is the roof is closed here almost all of the time because it is retractable. The bad news is that's why it's number 10, because it's the only park in the top 10 with a retractable roof, and most of the time it's closed. That really does kill the vibe a little bit. Now, I want to give a special shout out to the staff at Chase Field and the awesome friends I met, and of course, the world famous Churro Dog. My God, what a time to be alive. And I want to say that on most of the lists I see, Chase Field comes in somewhere in the 20s. So I think it's quite fitting that Chase Field, to me, is the most underrated park in Major League Baseball.
Number 9.
Another underrated park for the experience, because I'll be honest, the park is a bit dull when compared to a lot of the others, but they more than make up for it with food and drink options and the incredibly friendly people. It's Progressive Field in Cleveland. I don't know how to explain this one. There's just something about it that had a real friendly vibe to it, almost like you're part of the family. And in addition to some dynamite food options, this park also had the most local brewery selections. Now, you all know how I feel about supporting local, so that scored major bonus points. I know some of you might be saying, what do you think in having this ranked above some others I have in this list? All I'm saying is, go there and see for yourself. You might be surprised.
Number 8.
Oh, the suspense is killing me. Number 8 is Dodger Stadium. Aesthetically, beautiful. Friendliness, they gave me a program as I drove in. The stadium definitely lacks food and drink option-wise, and it is tough to get to. We all know how LA traffic is, and if you don't, it sucks. But I can't stress enough how far this park has come in the last few years. The renovations they have done have just been amazing. If you've never been, or if you haven't been in a while, check this place out when you can. You will love it.
Number 7.
Number 7 is Wrigley Field. I hate putting it this low. Under the lights when the Cubs are hot, I truly believe there is no better baseball atmosphere than this. And if you're saying, well, you're just biased because you lived in Chicago for 4 years and you're a Cubs fan, well, guess what? You're correct. Very much like Dodger Stadium in many ways, tough to get to, not the greatest food and drink options, and recent renovations have also done wonders for this park. I love Wrigley so much, and Chicago is probably my favorite city in the US. I can't wait to go back.
Number 6.
Coming in at number 6 is Oriole Park at Camden Yards. This park is on a lot of bucket lists, and it is a beautiful park. The location's not the best, and I was actually a bit underwhelmed by the food and drink options there. I had heard a lot of good things, and it was okay. It just wasn't the best. What I will say is that the staff are all very spirited and friendly and leading chants and things like that. It really did feel like they were all part of a team, and that was cool to see.
Number 5.
Now it really gets tough. We are in the top 5. Coming in at number 5 is Oracle Park in San Francisco. It's such a beautiful city, and this park really reflects it. It's right on the bay. The views are immaculate. The food and drink options are great. It had one of my favorite food items of the trip in the crab sandwich. I love this park. Maybe next time I'll rent one of those kayaks or boats and sit in the water and try to catch a home run. Or maybe not.
Number 4.
If you're keeping track at home, you know which 4 are left, and one of them will be very surprising to baseball fans, but I don't care because it's one of my favorite parks in the country, and it could even be higher than this. It's Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. Now, some might think this park's location is questionable since there aren't any bars or downtown area or anything surrounding it because it's isolated. I think that's awesome. 1, because it creates a great tailgate atmosphere, and 2, it's the easiest park in the league to access. There's almost no traffic because they handle it so well. But more so, I can't speak enough about the friendliness of the staff and the people, and especially the museum and the outfield. If you have not been to this, please make a point to go to Kansas City and check out what they've done. This museum is free of charge with ticket admission. It is one of the best exhibits in all of Major League Baseball. Completely worth the time, worth the money. I can't say enough about it.
Number 3.
Coming in at number 3 and the bronze medal, PNC Park. That might upset some people, but I'm just being honest. Now, before you start yelling at me, it's tied for second on score, and I just picked the one I liked better, and I liked the other one better than PNC. But let's focus on the positives. The aesthetics, awesome. Might be the best view in the league. Staff and people, super friendly. Food and drink options, plentiful. Location, not my favorite, only because you have to park fairly far away and the traffic is awful getting out afterwards, but it's downtown, so it's cool. Now, why am I explaining all this? To say that just because it's not number 1 doesn't mean it's not a awesome park, but some people are still going to be insulted by that because they put it on such a high pedestal. I loved it. The park is fantastic. It might not have things that other parks have that might appeal to the casual fan. And before you tell me, well, it should be about baseball, if that was the case, we can all just go to Oakland and have a great time.
Number 2.
And then there were 2, so let's introduce you to our first runner-up and silver medalist, Truist Park. The surrounding area is just unbelievable. Endless bars, restaurants, shops, you name it, they've got it. If you haven't seen the Battery Atlanta, look it up. Or better yet, pay it a visit. Then inside the park, it's basically a Chuck E. Cheese, but also with a zip line, because why not? They dedicate a lot of time and space for history and memorabilia, which you know I appreciate. And in-game, somehow, on a Tuesday night, they had the best atmosphere of the entire trip. Nostalgia, baby.
Number 1.
We have reached the top of the mountain, the gold medal, the crown, the championship, whatever you want to call it. This park is in a league of its own and was always my number 1. It's Petco Park. I don't even know where to start with this park, so let's just begin right where you walk in. You're immediately greeted with a Hall of Fame exhibit and dedications to the Padres' best players. Then you walk slightly further to your left into one of the most fun atmospheres ever.
Would you look at this?
Keep in mind, this is all inside the park. I'm just gonna let you drink this in for a little bit.
This is awesome.
Anyway, once you finally leave that area and walk through the gates, you're greeted by more memorabilia, tributes to the military, local breweries everywhere, dynamite food options, the best weather in the country, which doesn't have anything to do with the park, but it might as well because it's awesome. This park's got it all. Here's what I said about Petco Park on its individual episode. Sometimes in life when things have such high expectations, it struggles to deliver. Even if it's good, it's not great, as some might have expected. This is not one of those cases. Petco Park had all of the expectations in the world. Everyone I talked to said this is one of the best, and to say it delivered would be an understatement. I cannot advise enough. If you are anywhere near California, or if you're just a baseball fan in general, go out of your way to check this place out. Or even if you're not a baseball fan, just go party in Gallagher Square and then hit the town up afterwards. There's something there for everyone. It is just an awesome place. Am I ready to crown it as the greatest though? No, not just yet. Correction. Now I am. Petco Park, you are the king of Major League Baseball parks. So here are your final rankings, and it wouldn't be any fun without controversy, right? Some surprises, some expected, some underdogs make the top 10. It all made for a great time. But as always, I want to hear from you. What did you agree with? What did you disagree with? Feel free to leave any comment below. Be as insulting as you like. I can take it. But in all sincerity, thank you for watching. It's been so much fun to bring this series to you, and the support has been overwhelming. So thank you very, very much. And my next project begins very, very soon. I'm so excited for it. Please smash the subscribe button for all the updates on that. I would love to have you along for that ride as well. But that is all for baseball for a while. So until next time, take care of yourself. I wish you peace and love.
Hustle all day. Grind, 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 grind.